The Pokemon Company have done an amazing job of providing players with pre-constructed decks to get into the game at whatever level you want to play at. If you're an entry-level player, level 1 decks are great. If you are looking for a hyper-competitive deck, League Battle decks at level 3 are the way to go. And this time we are getting a new round of intermediate decks, level 2, with the Quaquaval EX and the Meowscarada EX decks, which will be out in September 1st, 2023. It might be out by the time you watch this, even though I'm putting this out months in advance. And they're going to sell for $19.99 US. And today, I know this, again, these aren't going to be out for a couple of months at the time that I'm releasing this video, but I want to get in here early just in case this is going to be something on your radar. And I wanted to show you the Quaquaval EX deck in action. I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Quaquaval EX. It is a stage 2 Pokemon, 320 HP, water type, 2 retreat, and it's got 2 moves. One, Exciting Dance for 1 water energy, does 60 damage, and you switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, switch out your opponent's active Pokemon to the bench. So you're kind of doing like a little bit of an escape rope situation, which if you customize the deck, you could do some fun stuff with it. Switch it around to like the Mimikyu that blocks attacks from Pokemon V and EX, or to a Klefki that shuts off abilities, but we don't have any of those fun party tricks in the deck as is. Instead, we are going to be relying on Spiral Shot for 1 water and a colorless energy, does 230 damage, which is incredibly efficient. But you have to put the 2 energy cards back into your hand. Now you might be wondering, like, this is a horrible attack. I can only attach 1 energy at a time. If I have to put both energies back into my hand, then I'm kind of screwed, right? No, actually, this is where Baxcalibur comes in. It's got the ability, super cool. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a basic water energy card from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And this is what we're going to be using to keep reattaching the energy to Quaquaval EX, as well as to Radiant Greninja, which not only is an amazing draw card, which with its concealed cards ability lets you discard an energy, draw 2 more cards. It also has the great move Moonlight Shuriken for 2 water energy and a colorless, lets you do 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So it's not just on the active, you can attack the bench as well. And the way this deck is built, we've got a 4-3-2 line of Quaquaval EX. So we've got 4 Quaxlys. There's nothing really to write home about. It's nice that they have the 70 HP. I don't know if there's a 60 HP version. I'm guessing there is. 70 HP is the magic number so that Sableye can't knock out 2 of these in one go. We do get the Quaxwell, nothing to write. This is just the vessel to get you to Quaquaval EX. And we've got 2 Quaquaval EXs here. That's a nice number to have, but in the late game, if you need the 3rd Quaquaval EX, you're going to have to recover it. But thankfully, the deck does come with a recovery card, which is going to be incredibly important. We've also got a 3-2-2 line of Frigibax, Arctibax, and Baxcalibur. And you're going to want to set up potentially 2 Baxcalibur, because if you get gusted and you lose a Baxcalibur, the deck just completely dies. So you're going to want ideally 2 of these set up so that they can't just gust KO 1 Baxcalibur to win the game. Other includes in the deck, and let's actually go into the proper deck editor view. I know it sucks that it's all in this corner, but this is still a little better. Besides the Baxcalibur, the Greninja, and the Quaquaval, this deck also has a couple of like filler Pokemon. These are if you're building the optimal version of this deck, they wouldn't include these. However, they're not bad includes here. For example, this Bruxish, it's a basic Pokemon for 1 water energy, Vivid Charge. You get to search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. The likelihood is you're going to get KO'd on the following turn. However, if you get the 3 water energy and that helps you get Quaquaval or Greninja set up on the following turn, then it was totally worth it. Same idea goes for Indeedee, where you're not going to attack with this at all, but its Expert Nurturer attack lets you search your deck for a card that evolves from one of your Pokemon and put it onto that Pokemon to evolve it, then shuffle your deck. So for example, you get the Quaxly down, and then you use Indeedee's Expert Nurturer to jump to Quaxwell, and then on the following turn, you can just go into Quaquaval EX without having to worry about Rare Candy or anything like that. So not the worst card to have in this lineup. For trainer cards, we've got 2 copies of Youngster. You shuffle your hand into your deck and then draw 5 cards. It's a way of being able to see a fresh set of cards without having to discard anything. And personally, if I was upgrading the deck, I would replace this with Iono or Judge to get some hand disruption in there as well. Escape Rope, that gives you the ability to switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench, and your opponent has to do the same. It's a way of switching your active around and possibly getting you out of a sticky situation if something like an Empoleon is blocking your abilities. We do have 2 copies of Jacq, and it is not necessarily the best card in the world you could be playing. However, it is useful. It lets you grab 2 evolution Pokemon and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This deck is very evolution heavy with multiple stage 2s that you need to set up. So Jacq in that regard isn't so bad. In a fully upgraded version of this deck, I might be looking to cut this, or at most like maybe 1. 2 copies of Energy Search. This is very helpful for grabbing our energy, even though we have 12 in the deck, which is a lot. We do have Energy Search here because we can grab that with Irida, which allows you to grab a water Pokemon and an item card. And in a scenario where you also need to find energy, Energy Search is there so you can grab energy with Irida. But Irida is a incredibly strong card because this can get you any water Pokemon plus items like a Nest Ball, like an Energy Retrieval, like Rare Candy, and so on. So this is going to be like the backbone of this deck. Energy Retrieval. So you're going to be using Greninja to discard energy, or you might get knocked out along the way. Don't worry about it. You've got 2 copies of Energy Retrieval to put the basic energy cards from your discard pile back into your hand so you can reattach them to Quaquaval or to Greninja. I would probably look to play maybe 1 more of these, and also consider adding Superior Energy Retrieval so you can get 4 energy in one go. You do have to discard 2 cards along the way, but it's probably worth it for at least 1. 4 copies of Nest Ball to get our basics down. 3 copies of Professor's Research. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. I know as a new player, Professor's Research is very scary. You don't want to discard any of your cards. You're like, but I might need this later. Like, no. Ideally, you want to play your hand down so that you're not getting rid of as much stuff when you play Professor's Research. But being able to see 7 new cards, especially if you need specific cards, being able to draw 7 is probably worth it rather than holding on to the other cards for later. So Professor's Research, don't be scared of it. Love it. It's one of the best cards that's ever been in the Pokemon trading card game. And so I'm glad they have 3 copies of it here. 1 copy of Klara. This is your key recovery card, especially if the game runs long. You can grab up to 2 Pokemon and 2 energy from your deck and put them straight back into your hand. And this is very important for getting that 3rd Quaquaval EX, because you only have 2 Quaquaval EXs in the deck, that the 3rd one is going to have to be recovered by Klara in the late game. 3 copies of Ultra Ball for grabbing any Pokemon you want at the cost of discarding 2 cards. I would look to add 4, like add 1 more here. Lake Acuity is an interesting choice of stadium. It does give your Pokemon, it makes them take 20 less damage from attacks when they have water energy attached to it. However, there are some stadiums you could add here, such as like a Lost City, or what was that card? Temple of Sinnoh, that could be more disruptive to your opponent. But Lake Acuity's not bad. Making your already kind of tanky Quaquaval EX even tankier is not a bad thing to have. And we've got 2 copies of Rare Candy, so we can skip the 2nd evolution and go from basic to stage 2. Incredibly helpful card to have, especially since you can search it out with Irida, and that allows you to like just almost not guarantee, but make it easier to get it set up faster. Last but not least, we have 12 water energy. And so yeah, your basic game plan, you want to get Quaquaval set up by the second turn so you can attack for 230, and then by the third turn ideally you have Baxcalibur set up so you can keep reattaching the energy to Quaquaval. And when the opportunity arises, you may want to attack with Radiant Greninja as well to take multiple prizes on smaller Pokemon. All right, let's get to these matches. All right, we lost the coin flip. Let's try this again. Well, not again. Let's try this. Ooh, that's a bad starting hand. That is a bad starting hand. Hopefully, and our opponent's playing Gardevoir or Dashbun, whatever this is. I don't know. Okay, they mulligan twice, so we get at least an energy. Shadow Rider. I don't think this is what I think it is. Let's see. Okay, they get down their rolls. And I think this is... I saw like a Dash Bun or something in there. So I don't think this is just straight up Shadow Rider. But also, they're not going to be able to attack next turn unless they have some crazy shenanigans going on. So maybe there's an opportunity for us to figure this out. So I could attach the energy to the Quaxly, but I'm kind of concerned that if I do that, then I won't be able to... I think we have to. I think we have to attach it. It sucks that we have to get rid of the one Baxcalibur and the one Quaxwell in order to even play the game here. Evolves from one of your Pokemon, put that onto your... No. Okay, let's go attach the energy. I'll put Lake Acuity down, and let's let it rip on research. And we get the Frigibax down. That's cool. And we will... Ooh. And we pound for 10. And we pray that we can get... So on the next turn, we can go Quaquaval, Rare Candy, Irida for Baxcalibur, and an Energy Search. And I think that's the play for now. Okay, looks like our opponent is not attacking this turn, which is good. It might even mean we win, which is... I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it. Apologies for the... Yeah, what the heck is... What are we playing against here? 30. Okay, they get their Shadow Rider VMAX out at least. So we're not going to be able to knock them out on the next turn. They're still not attacking, though. Oh, Gardevoir EX. Okay. They're still not going to use that right now, which is fine. We do have to be concerned, though, because Shadow Rider, if they get enough energy in the discard pile, could be a problem. It will eventually get to a point where it can just one-shot us. Yeah, what does the Dash Bun do? This Pokemon can't be burned. Okay, Headbutt Bounce. Prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's fire Pokemon. Like, no. I don't understand why that's in here. But okay, we carry on. Are they grabbing Shadow? No? Oh, the Mimikyu. Okay. So, the Mimikyu is a bit of a problem because they can't... Well, we can't hit them with EXs or Vs. Let's go Rare Candy up to the Quaxwell, and we'll grab some energy here. And now we can go Baxcalibur, right? However, Or do we go... I think we have to go Baxcalibur. And we grab... Let's grab a Nest Ball for Greninja. And we're going to use Greninja to knock out this Mimikyu. Okay, let's go grab Greninja. And we have no water, unfortunately. And let's go Spiral Shot. 230. And hopefully we can get something here. Let's go 1 and 3. Okay, we get the water. We get the escape rope. We're kind of laughing at the moment. They're thinking, oh, things are sweet. We've got the Mimikyu blocking. They can't attack. Little do they know. Hopefully they don't play any hand disruption here. Yeah, right now they are just stalling for time. Oh. Hold on. Oh. Sorry, my phone was ringing. I'm recording this in the morning, and I was... Oh. They got rid of a bunch of energy. Okay. And they're gonna attack Ghost Eye 7 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay. So that does kind of suck, right? And they're gonna get Gardevoir in a position where they can attack. I think our long-term problem is... Oh, hold on. So I guess there's a couple ways about this. We can try and attack the Gardevoir first, or do we try and take out the Mimikyu? Because we can escape rope, hit the Gardevoir for 230, get the energy back. But the Mimikyu is going to continue to be a problem. However, if we kill the Mimikyu now, we have an issue where then how do we... Then I have no energy to attack on the following turn. So that's a problem. Let's go... Okay. This is actually an interesting conundrum here. I think we're actually gonna attack. So let's go attack the... Well, the Gardevoir's just gonna retreat, right? Okay. Let's go take out the Mimikyu. So in order to do that, we will... Okay. We're gonna Super Cold. Although we are putting ourselves in a pretty bad spot here, in the sense that we are discarding 2 water. This is a incredibly risky move. Because now I can't attack. Okay, we get some water. We may be able to do some like chip damage here with the Quaquaval, and then just pray we can eventually... Oh, doing damage? Oh my goodness, this is annoying. And they get a Shadow Rider out, and they've got... Oh, okay, it's not entirely the worst. If we could top deck energy, we're laughing. Or at least an out to energy. That would be amazing. But there's no guarantee we're going to be able to do that. And we're going to do 2 damage to us for ourselves for attaching the energy to us. Okay, they're getting down a bunch of Shadow Riders. And they're going to attach a whole bunch of energy right now, which I actually don't hate. Because, yeah, there is a chance they lose the Gardevoir, at which point they can't attach any more energy. So, not mad at them for that. All right, high risk. This is, for all the marbles here, we need an out to energy in order to continue playing the game. And, oh, we got it! We got it! Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh no, old cemetery, please. Please. Okay. Here we go. We will go Spiral Shot for 230, take out the Gardevoir. They can still accelerate stuff. So this is still a problem. We need to get a second Quaquaval going here. And hopefully they can't recover enough energy to knock us out. This is real scary hours here. Hopefully, oh no, they Cynthia's Ambition. They're gonna get rolling here. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. Ooh, bricking off the Nest Ball. Great Ball's gonna get them probably the Shadow Rider VMAX, right? Oh, they got a Gardevoir, which is not gonna help them in the moment. Astral Barrage does 5 damage counters to 2. Both of our Quaxleys have more HP than that. So they're going to potentially... I mean, that's not ideal for us, right? We lose... we potentially lose 2 attackers. Oh, they're going after the Baxcalibur. Makes sense. Well, kind of makes sense. Okay, 160. Holy cow. I need... Okay, let's go attach. We're going to super cold to 1, 2, 3. We're going to put all of it in hand. Oh, gosh. 210. Oh, no. We're so dead. We're so dead. Okay. Oh, we got the win. Jeez. That got really scary there towards the end, but we did get to see a bunch of stuff about the deck working as intended there. We were able to get Quaquaval set up and attack multiple times, get the Baxcalibur set up and attack, doing solid damage for 230 damage, and have Baxcalibur repeat, going over and over again. And then on top of that, we got the Quaquaval EX being pretty tanky there with 320 HP. And yeah, our opponent didn't quite get rolling, but we were able to come through, and there was a good decision that we made there. Ultimately ended up, maybe it was lucky, but come back in here. Come back in here. It might have been lucky that we top decked the water energy, but taking out the Mimikyu did prove to be the right move in the long run. I was concerned that, yeah, we could have gotten some initial damage on the Gardevoir, but they could have just retreated, gone into the Mimikyu, and then we'd be screwed, which was especially problematic because this deck, built as is, does not have boss's orders in it. So being able to snipe down the Mimikyu early was ultimately a good move. GG's. All right, full disclosure. So you're probably noticing I recorded this match previously, and unfortunately for me, my voice changer, I have a voice changer that does cool voices. I hope this actually works, like where I can change my voice like this. It decided to change my mic input to my game capture card, and it completely screwed up the audio. Everything got recorded, including that error, except for my voice. So we mulligan here. I'm going to end up just like reacting to this and talking about the process, and I might slip in some other fun stuff here as well that I normally don't get to talk about because I'm talking in real time. And so we've put down the Indeedee instead of the Frigibax, and I did that because I don't want the Frigibax to get knocked out. And we could potentially use the Indeedee's move here. So other error. So we have Frigibax, a Quaquaval EX in our hand, a Irida, 2 water, Rare Candy. This is actually not a bad hand if we can get down a Quaxly and a... Yeah, pretty much just the Quaxly, and then we'll be fine. We can figure out the rest from there. Actually, we would need 1 more energy if we're going to use the Indeedee's move, the Expert Nurturer. And so our opponent grabbed... I didn't even see. Oh, looks like mirror match. Sorry, I don't remember the particulars of this match. I know we recently recorded this. Okay, they attached the energy to the Bidoof. I just remember in particular that I thought this match was a good showcase of what the Deluxe Battle Deck can do. All right, we get a second Frigibax, and I think I should bench that because you don't want to be caught with your pants down and only have one Baxcalibur ready to go. I am doing a deck search, see what we're grabbing. I think that because I don't need the Rare Candy, I already have that in hand. Okay, decide to grab a Nest Ball. That's fine. Maybe get a Greninja in there or something. And that's probably what I'm going to do here. Yeah, okay, cool. It's funny, like when I watch these videos after the fact, there are, oh god, that's a gamble. That's a choice. Okay, we got lucky that time. I watch these videos back and I see there are times when I'm not making the most optimal play, and you know, it happens. It happens. I think that something that a number of people take for granted. Also, okay, so they play Candace. This is, I know there are, I feel like when I run into someone who is not necessarily playing the most optimal deck, they run Candace. And I when I'm playing maybe not the most experienced player, or when I'm on Reddit looking at like Pokemon TCG advice and people are like, check out my deck, and when they have a water deck, it's always Candace. And the problem with Candace is that, yeah, it potentially can be very powerful, but it also potentially could be not. And that is the fact that there is a likelihood, like a potential for it to fail, makes it like not the best card to play. All right, so we gambled away our energy so we could play Greninja there, hopefully draw into 2 more cards, and the gamble paid off. We ended up getting a whole bunch of good cards for us on the following turn, and I think we can afford to do that because our opponent bricked pretty hard at the beginning of the game here. So in 2 turns, we've got our Quaquaval set up. We've got a pretty good hand to get ourselves a Baxcalibur next turn. Things are looking pretty good. Things are looking pretty good here. They do get their B-Burrow set up, and they do have the ability to retreat when they're ready. But yeah, so I'm talking about like Lake Acuity right now, if I remember what I was saying here, because our opponent also has a water deck, and if they are playing chien-pao, which I'm pretty sure they are, the putting Lake Acuity in play would make it so that we can't one-shot chien-pao. And one of the great things about Quaquaval EX is it does 230 damage. And 230 damage is a very good number because you can then one-shot pretty much every basic Pokemon V and most basic EXs as well. So this is being able to one-shot a chien-pao here is great. Okay, let's see what our opponent does. They set up the Arctibax, and yeah, going to conceal cards, draw some more cards, and they drop a Palkia. And in this position, I think there's definitely an argument to be made about whether you bring the chien-pao into the active to grab energy, but there's also the risk here, right? I'm sitting with a Quaquaval on the bench that can one-shot the chien-pao. Is that really what you want to do? And so they choose not to, and that's totally fine. And one of the big drawbacks of the Quaquaval deck is that it doesn't come with boss's orders, and that is incredibly annoying. Because there are a lot of times where, like, I would love to gust up chien-pao right now and knock it out, but I can't. So we're going to have to retreat and go in with something else. So we're bringing Quaquaval out, and with the Jacq, we go and grab Arctibax and Quaquaval. And now we've got almost two Baxcaliburs ready to go, and we should have 2 Quaquavals ready to go as well. I don't think I make this play, but I can attach a 3rd energy to the Quaquaval And then I don't necessarily have to worry as much about reattaching the energy. If I get 3 on there, you still have to take back 2, but then you've got the 1 attached to the Quaquaval, and then you're fine. Which you may or may not want to do. If you're confident that you're not going to get knocked out next turn, then yeah, maybe you want to do that to simplify the process. But and also if you're scared that you're going to get Iono'd, you might want to avoid doing that as well. All right, so our opponent gets the Baxcalibur set up. They play Irida. Things are looking pretty... they could be good if they can get the energy rolling. Like if you play Palkia V-Star, I know they have a number of water energy in the discard pile, and they could use their V-Star power to pull in and then get an attack off. I don't think that's what they do here, but let's go take a look. Yeah, so they've got 7 water energy in the discard pile, so that is a pretty good chunk of change to get in a solid attack here. Palkia V-Star would do 240 damage right now if that was what they wanted to do, but they grab a chien-pao and superior energy retrieval, and I'm not sure because now they have to get rid of 2 more cards to get 4 energy. And what's the play? Ooh, they had a DTE in the deck. I don't remember. I don't think I ever saw what the DTE was for. And they have a Kingdra in there too. Looks like they're playing some weird combination of the... yeah, Kingdra can do a ton of damage if you load a ton of energy on it, but we don't get to see it here. All right, they get rid of one of the energy that they brought up. I hope you're having a good day, by the way. At the time I'm recording this, it's Saturday morning. I woke up with my wife and my baby and changed his diaper. They went back to sleep. And okay, they preemptively loaded a bunch of energy onto the chien-pao, but they're not going to do any damage here. And they are giving me a free 2 prize KO, which feels... I don't know if that was the play. I honestly don't know if that was the play. That's going to cost them here. All right, so we choose to get rid of an energy here with concealed cards because we had the energy search in hand, and we actually draw into another energy search, which is kind of lucky. And we do have a bunch of energy ready to rock. We're going to go and reload that. And again, we are not going to... I could attach a 3rd energy here if I felt confident, but with the chien-pao with a bunch of energy on the bench, there is a decent chance that they can get a 1-hit KO here. No, yeah. If I play the Lake Acuity, I would prevent myself from knocking out Palkia, and that would be bad. So we go for the Spiral Shot, 230, take the 1-hit KO on the Palkia. Now, the prizing's still a little weird here, right? I need to take 3 prizes. They don't have any 3 prizes in their deck. I'm going to need to land 2 more attacks. We did get some good cards out of the prizes, though. We've got our second Baxcalibur ready to go. We've got 2 Quaquavals. We've got the Greninja. It's kind of annoying that the Indeedee is on the bench, and we ended up not really using it. But for all intents and purposes, we pretty much have what we need. This is pretty much an ideal state for what we want with this deck, being able to land a solid 230 damage turn after turn. In the future, I hope to do a video showing upgrades to this. And I mean, a lot of the decks videos I've seen on Quaquaval EX, they rely on the exciting dance attack, and then you switch into like a Mimikyu or a Klefki. And like, I think those are all fine, and it's in a way it's probably the better way to play it. I think there is danger with... I think Quaquaval as a main attacker isn't good enough at higher levels of play. For a level 2 deck, it's supposed to be intermediate level. I think it's totally fine. But as something that you're going to take onto PTCG Live and you're playing against top tier decks, I don't think it's going to cut it. But I still want to make a version of this deck that's like, that keeps the core concept of Quaquaval with Baxcalibur and show what that can be like. So they load 6 energy on, and 6 is not gonna do it. I was very scared here in the moment because that's a lot of energy, but 6 energy is going to do 300 damage. Quaquaval's beefy HP coming in really handy here, and they had to get rid of all their energy in order to not even get a KO on us here. And we do have the opportunity to Greninja, draw 2 more cards, but we get double Baxcalibur. And yeah, I'm going to just draw a little bit more, and we get even more energy. That's amazing. So let's go and attach. One could argue to not attach to the Quaquaval and bring in the fresh one, but I figure might as well go for it. Take the attack. We've got the other one ready to go on the bench. And yeah, we only have Escape Rope, and I do attach the 3rd energy to the second Quaquaval. I guess there's an argument to be made to Energy Search and attach the other energy to the second one, just so that's ready to go. I end up not doing that. I probably should have. But we take the knock. And we get ourselves a massive 5-prize lead. There are still concerns. I think that this isn't necessarily over. And actually, it's gonna be tough. Like, if they go in with the Palkia, and I think that's one of the things they probably should have done, is attack with Palkia. Oh, they got rid of the Palkia V-Stars early. That was the thing. They couldn't use Palkia V-Star because, yeah, they got rid of both earlier in the match. And yeah, I think they had to do it in order to like even get set up in the first place. So they're in a pretty bad spot here. And I can't even remember if they got this attack off, but we're looking pretty sweet. We're looking pretty sweet. And they're going to play Jacq for a Baxcalibur, which isn't going to do anything. They can't get the Palkia V-Star out. This is where I realized that, yeah, they can't get Palkia out. And if they have no outs to get the water back from the discard, they're kind of screwed. And they also never got the... Well, they did get the first Beebrel. The second one, Beebrel never got rolling here. And we just take the win. So yeah, GG's to our opponent there. And I thought this was a great example of the deck working as intended. Yeah, our opponent did brick early on. That gave us a little more time to set up. But we got our combo set up pretty quickly, with the Quaquaval getting set up pretty quick and the Baxcalibur getting set up when it needed to, and we were able to consistently get attacks that were 230 damage over and over again, and having the Baxcalibur to reload that energy was pretty great. It was unfortunate that our opponent had to get rid of the Palkias when they did, because Palkia would have saved them at least to get damage early instead of getting that free KO. But we'll take that win. GG's. And there we go. That is a look at the Quaquaval Deluxe Battle Deck. Is that what it's called? I think it's called the Deluxe Battle Deck. Oh my goodness. It is called the Deluxe Battle Deck. All right, cool. Again, these are out September 1st, 2023. It might be out by the time you watch this. And where the heck did my music go? Man, this outro is a disaster. Oh, we're just going to go with it. All right, the music came back in. What's it called? Out September 1st, $19.99 US dollars. Again, apologies for the second match being a little weird in the sense that I had to dub over top of it because of the audio issues I was having. But again, I thought it was a really good example of the deck in action, so I wanted to keep it in any way I could. So thank you for watching through it if you did. Okay, gotta get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Some quick plugs before we go. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In Third Person. You can find me on Twitch at In Third Person, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.